Hi, I'm Jeff Ochrach. I'm a lawyer in Rockland, California. What do you do if you have problems with your business partner? I've seen so many cases like that, and there are really good ways to deal with it. First of all, most of us form partnerships with people we know. The typical people I see have been good friends and they decided to start a business together. Sometimes you see people who don't know each other so well. For example, they need money. One partner needs money and the other one has the money, and they come into contact and they form a business together, and that works well too. But eventually, there are problems with many partnerships, and it comes from all sorts of things. So, for example, sometimes you got somebody who spends money responsibly and the other partner doesn't. That can cause huge problems. Other times you have one partner who works really hard and the other one doesn't. That can cause huge problems. So eventually, you have to expect when you go into a partnership, maybe something's going to go wrong. And sometimes you have a partner who just turns out to be devious. You don't imagine it when you're starting, but then something happens. So to satisfy a fiduciary duty, business partners have to show the utmost good faith to each other. That means they can't take advantage of the other in even the slightest way. If a business opportunity arises, they have to share it with their business partner also. They can't deceive or misrepresent to their business partner. That's the nature of a fiduciary duty. I'll give you some examples. One case I had, the two business partners were neighbors. They lived on the same street together. The one partner had the skill, the other partner had different skills and money. They start this business, and my client, the partner with the skill, develops this software for their business. Well, as it turns out, his other partner secretly was taking money from the business and writing expenses as if it was from the business, but paying expenses for his other company. So my guy didn't even know for years, and then eventually he discovered it. That's just stealing from your partner. Another time I had a client who was in partners, another software venture, and his partners decided they didn't want him involved anymore. They had built up this business together, they had great clientele, but my client's partners didn't want him anymore. So what they did is they had a vote, and my guy was a minority owner, so they had a vote by the majority that said, we're gonna close down our business. We're just gonna close shop. We're going out of business. Sorry, Scott, you're in trouble. And what they did is start a new company, and they took all of the clients with them. And my guy discovered that later on, comes to me, and we had to sue. These are the kinds of examples of things you can see all the time. So these are the rules of the game in partnership, so you'll know them. If you're partners, you owe fiduciary duties to each other. Now, those fiduciary duties exist if you're a partnership, or some people think of it as a partnership, but it's really a limited liability company, or even a small corporation. These fiduciary duties mean that I have to put my partner's interests above my own, or at worst, right equal to my own. So if I don't do that, if I take advantage, like for example, I take customers away and bring them to my own business, separate business, that's breaching my fiduciary duties. If I see a business opportunity I don't share with you, that's breaching my fiduciary duties. And of course, if you do something that's plain out wrong, like fraud, that's breaching your fiduciary duties too, but it's also fraud. So in those cases, we have to go after those folks and sue them. And when we sue them, we discover all kinds of things. Typically, we get the accounting records, we get all the correspondence, the emails that we may not have seen before, and we discover all the evidence that will prove what they've done. In those cases, we usually settle, but sometimes we go to trial. And I've won 92% of my trials, and I would expect to win a case like the ones I've described for you every day of the week. If I can help you, give me a call, and I'd love to. Thanks.